Here we go. All right. Let's see if it's working. Hi, friends. Make sure you say hello to us once you are seeing this because it tells me it's live. Oh, we got 12 people. All right. Well, hello.
Nice.
Welcome
Hello.
to day 3 of the Monster Mash. I'm so excited to be here with Daphne tonight. Thanks for joining me.
Yes, of course. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I wasn't sure if it would just be me or not, so I'm very happy to have you. I was like, I got my girl snacks. Is that what we're calling them now? They're like girl dinner, girl
Yeah,
snack.
girl dinner.
I just say, I don't know. I got animal crackers and peanut butter dip, so it is very girl dinner for sure.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have a girl dinner today too, because like I said earlier before we went live, my husband's not here today because he's doing work stuff. So I'm like, I'll just snack around. Like I've just been snacking all day. I'm not even really hungry yet. Like I'll just
Yeah,
have something small.
yeah. I like made dinner because like my grandpa had given me some pasta sauce he made, and I was
Ooh.
like, let's go. But then I was like, I don't really want to eat this, so I just meal prepped instead, which was fine because I will definitely eat it tomorrow.
Yeah. They'll probably
But I
make
was
good
like, I don't
leftovers.
really want this, so I had just like a couple bites of it. I was like, this is great, but I'm not feeling it. So anyway, as you guys pop in, yeah, tell us what you're reading. Tell us how it's going. If you've read anything just like totally wacky or not. I mean, I was watching Maggie's like little clip about the
The
pump,
cock one.
the squash. It was squash. Yeah.
Oh, squash now? I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh my gosh, that was from day 2, and I was like, bitch, what is this? I don't know what's happening.
She cracks me up.
Yeah, it's, she's hilarious. I love it. I love it so much. Let's say hi to some people. Hello, Vita. Hi, Lynn. Great to see ya. Hi, Honey Lay. Hello. Feathers from the Sky. Oh my gosh.
Mm-mm.
So good. So good. I can't wait till there's like an audiobook for that one. I'm amazing. Yeah, Honey Lay, you know it. I have the banana cake one, and carrot cake is the nerdy nuts that I'm eating tonight.
Ooh.
It's amazing. You're reading Her Soul to Take. All right, that's a good one. Hey, Amber. Hello. The Madness of the Horde King. Oh, yes. So good. Such a good series. Return to Monte Carlo. Oh, Calico, I hope you love that one. I just saw someone who didn't like it, which I mean, I know not everyone's going to love everything, but when you see one where they're like, this was just ridiculous, it's like, fair, fair. I didn't think it was practical. It was a crazy billionaire romance, but okay, okay.
It's fiction.
Right, right. Honey Lay, I just finished it. I finished the audio for that one. Have you read any Immortals After Dark, Daphne? Do you know what that is?
I haven't, but I think I own the first three, or at least one of them. I get these two vampire series mixed up.
Fair, fair. They all were from the same like time period.
Yeah.
Like early 2000s is when everything
Is
started.
the first one Dark Lover? Is it that one?
No, no, that one is Sherilyn Kenyon, I think. Dark
Is the
Lover, is that Sherilyn
first
Kenyon?
one?
Or is
Oh
Dark
wait.
Lover? Now my brain just went. But either way, it's Hunger Like No Other is the first. I
Yes, I have three of those. I have the first three.
Dark Lover. Now my brain just shorted out, even though I can picture the book, but I can't
It's
see.
J.R. Ward.
Yes, yes, J.R. Ward. Yes, that one, that one, that one. Good, good catch. I just finished that one. That one's a demon and a Valkyrie. It's fantastic.
Oh.
Um, into Madam. Lizelle, I'm holding off on that one. I was talking to Daphne before this. There's 9 books that come out next week, and I have arcs for 5 of them, and I need to read them in order because like I just have too many. But Madam, I'm very excited for. Hollow. Oh, I downloaded that one. Don't know when I'll get to it. What the Hex by Jessica Clare, and Healing the Orcs. Heart. Oh, I grabbed that one too on Stuff Your Kindle Day. That one looks sweet. You're not reading Monster or Vampire. Well, I don't know, Linda. You can stay. When I tell you what I'm reading, I'm actually not reading a monster one right this second either. So you definitely can play. I'm going to be annotating a monster book while I'm listening to another book, but I'll explain myself shortly. I'm weird. Oh, King Cobra. All right, all right. Oh my gosh, I love that series. Spiders and snakes, man. I don't know why, but I'm okay with it. Not sure what you're gonna read. You've got too many audios that came in, and I feel like I should read one of them. Fair enough. You're reading Tentacles and Teeth. Oh, I want to try that one. Hi, Komal. Hello, my friend. You're gonna read The Tentacle Chair. All right. Okay, that's another wild one.
That's an intriguing name. I need to look that up.
Yeah, that's one. I think that's the one that blah, blah, blah. Hannah was talking about it on Monday or Sunday. Sunday's when we did these. It's like a punishment chair. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. They were going for it. Fantasy Lover. Okay, Fantasy Lover, Sherilyn Kenyon. Dark Lover is J.R. Ward. Yes. Thanks, Lynn. I knew. See what I mean? Like, they're all really close together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Put your monster reads on hold for a fanfic. Secrets and Mask. Oh, Como. You'll have to let me know how you feel with that. I had to pause that one because it was going too dark for me. So there you go. You'll have to let me know how it goes. Yes, J.R. Ward. You're reading Hollow by Siamnes Costa. Yes, all the Hollow books. I love it. Just started Worth Fighting For by Matilda Manson. Okay. How many sprints? Okay, so we're going to try to do 2, Honeylay. 2 40-minute sprints is what my plan is. So we'll see how we roll, how we're feeling. We're going to chat here for a couple minutes, but then my plan is to do 2 40-minute sprints. Hoping for any standalone spider romance Rex. Well, the Siamnes Costa says that it's in the series, but I just read the Mabon Feast. It was 80 pages, and it's not like really connected to anything else. So that's my advice for that one. Is I did the Mabon Feast, and it's actually a witch and a spider. So that's 2 prompts, by the way. And it was cute. It was cute. I mean, only Siamnes Costa can make, well, not only her, but certain authors can make those things really cute. And it was cute. And maybe cute's the wrong word, but that's what we're going. All right, Daphne, what are you planning to read? What are you planning to start? What are you looking to do?
So I have my in real life book club meeting on Thursday, and we're reading Mistborn. So I have to finish that. I've been listening to the audiobook. I think I have like 4 hours left. I listened to it on 1.75. So I'm cutting it kind of close, but
oh, that has the audio narrator god who does that one. That's fantastic.
I mean, so we'll see how it goes.
Narrator. Who's brilliant.
Yeah.
I hope you're liking the book too, but
I think I built it up a little bit too much in my head before like a heist story and stuff and all the magic and learning about it. I'm enjoying it well enough, but I'm just such a romance girly at my core that like
I know.
I'm just like, oh, it's fine.
I know. I will say the romance over the 3 books of that one is very beautiful. I mean, we're not going to get any rumpy pumpy because it is Brandon Sanderson, but I really love the romance in that. And that's coming from, I was a full-on romance reader when I read the series. I only read it a couple years ago after it was like, it's been everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I put it off because I was like, I'm not going to like this as much as everyone because whatever. But I listened to the audiobooks and I love the narrator. And I listened to it while I was like working, which at work, when I used to work in the office, I tried not to listen to too many like full-on romances while I was working.
Yeah, it's a little distracting.
I mean, I eventually got there where I could do the whole like straight face through anything. But at that time, I wasn't there yet. So I listened to those ones. And I don't know. But I think that it definitely is super hyped in other parts. And I felt that way about it when I finished all 3. But each individual book is kind of, I was just like, this was good. I was like, this was good. But when I saw like what he did with it as a whole, I was like, respect.
Yeah.
I also think he's not as deep as everyone else tries to say. I don't think he doesn't think he's as deep as everyone else tries to make him. I think he just has fun stuff. But the way other people speak about him, I think they speak about him as that. Anyway, that's my analysis on BS.
I was intrigued when they introduced the romantic element with that character, but I was like, she's only 16. You know what I mean? She's so young. and he's 21. I'm like, let's give it some time.
Yeah. But they won't stay that age.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it progresses, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how in like other books we can be like, that is inappropriate, read forbidden romance.
It's true.
There's
They toe the line.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I love that you're reading that. I wanna dive into some other fantasy areas. My friend Joe is reading the Red Rising series right now, and I read that back when it was just the trilogy, and I loved, was obsessed. But then when the new series started, I was like, I think I'm okay. I was okay with where it ended, but now I want to read more because she's reading it. But like that series like destroyed me, and I was like, I'm okay. Ended, and in my head, everyone's happy. And now you're gonna come back and destroy them again. And I'm like, no.
Oh no.
No.
What are you reading tonight?
Yes. Okay. So, as I said, I will be maybe doing two things. So, one of the arcs that I have, I'm so excited for. I have the audio arc of Obsession Falls by Claire Kingsley, which is her new series that she's starting.
I'm looking up.
But it's in the same world that I love. The Bailey brothers were in this world, and the Miles family too, I guess was. But I was lucky enough to get an audio arc of this one, so I'm gonna be listening to that. But as I was also saying, I need to transfer my notes from Lothair because I'm going to be getting one of these to someone else. So I annotated this actually last October. This is my favorite book in the Immortals After Dark series, the Big Bad. Here's the cover that everybody knows.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, everyone's seen this. It's famous even if people don't know what it's about. But yeah, I love it. And when I transfer notes, I don't have to really pay attention to what is being said anymore because I've already did it. So I'll be able to hopefully focus on my book while I do this. But maybe I'll also work on my cross stitch. I don't know. I'm currently working on a butterfly.
Yeah, let me
I made a lot of progress the last time. I'm almost done.
Ooh.
So we'll see.
And what do you do with it after you make it? Do you iron it onto something? How does that work?
No, I just have a hoop. I had to take it out of the hoop to fit all the way over to the area, but I just put them on a hoop and they're decorations. I gift them to people. Or if it's one I really like, I keep it for myself. Like I did a really pretty sunset one that I'm like, that one took me forever. I'm keeping it for myself. I just like to keep my hands busy when I listen to audiobooks, so I end up doing things. All right, let's catch up to these and then we will get started here. So Lizelle says, you haven't even started any monster romances because of the arcs. Yeah. And I was going to give the update. I already got my bingo last night because I had 4 books that was going to make it. And 3 of them were basically like novella-esque. So I finished all those because yes, I need to get to my arcs, but I still want to read like all the recommendations everyone's giving. Like I want to try some of the other creatures that I've never tried before. Like the Lich. I really want to read Wed to the Lich, which I believe is Necromancer. And I also want to try one of the ogre ones I've been seeing because I've read Orc, but I've never read an ogre before. So I want to try some of those, but we'll see.
Have you read the Pumpkinhead ones?
No.
I'm going to try a couple of those.
I know.
I don't even know what to expect.
Yeah, I might try one of the ones that's like Jack. Like I might try the Layla Faye like Jack one.
That's the one I have too, yeah.
Okay. You're annoyed because you just got an arc that's releasing on 10/5 and you got it. Yeah, I know. I had to pause to read the Carla Sorensen last night. I finished that like right at the end. Right at the last minute. Which is my own fault because I had that arc for 2 months with that one. So that's nobody's fault but me. Can't decide if you want to start Belladonna or Lifeblood. Oh, Lifeblood. So good. So good. Love it. Okie doke. Well, look at that. Let us get started. 15 minutes in already here. I have my pretty little timer. Let's get it. I think I picked a good aesthetic for
oh yes, for fall.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. I wish there was an even like spookier one, but this is what we got. And yeah, so let's go for 40 minutes for this one, and then we'll come back and chat.
Sounds good.
Ooh. Hello.
Hello.
Well, I just had a super funny part happen in mine, so I was like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, the good old I walked in when you're about to take a shower. Um, but like she's renting a home from their like company, but nobody told him yet.
Oh.
So he thought there was a squatter in the house. So he like bursts in to like kick the person out, and she's getting ready to take a bath. And then she's like, I have a rental agreement. And he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It was pretty cute. Pretty cute. Good times. But how's yours going?
It's going well. They had a little alcove romantic moment, but she's like, don't do it. And I'm like, please don't do it. Like, don't kiss her.
Oh my gosh. They're so cute though. Isn't that at a dance? Are they at a dance or a party or something?
Yeah, they're like a ball. No, it's cute, but I think I don't know. I'm just like, she's so young. You're so old. But I do like it.
Post-apocalyptic world. What does age even mean?
I guess that's fair.
No, I get it. I get it. I get it. I love the magic in that world. That's one of the things I like. I like his magic system so much. All right, hopping in. Hey, Hannah.
Hi, Hannah.
Girl, glad to have you here. Oh, finished the tentacle chair. All right. All right.
I definitely have to read that for this.
Yeah,
Bingo.
it's really fast, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
she read it in the 40 minutes, so it must be.
Yeah, I looked it up. It's only like 20 so pages, I think.
There we go. There we go. Finished Sun Story of Sun by J.R. Warren. Oh. Human female finds captive vampire, not part of it, but set in the same town. Oh. I like the idea of her, like, if she's rescuing him. That's cool. 5.5 chapters done. All right. I love the demons. I forgot how much I liked the earlier books in Immortals After Dark because I read them for the first time 3 years ago, and when I reread the books, I usually reread like the later ones because like again, like Lothair, I've read Lothair like 6 times. It's so good.
Which number is that in the series?
Well, it depends on if the people count the novellas or not, but it's either book like 10 or 11. It gets moved around because there's 2 novellas people count. It's the 10th full-size book. It gets moved around, but you're like building up to Lothair for a very long time. It's a very anticipated book, but it's also my favorite. It's in my favorites of all time because just in general, and this is a like how I view Cressley Cole as an author, just as a whole. She is one of the best people at giving your characters, whether in a romance or not, I will say, just in how she builds a story, where 2 characters have opposite character goals. So for one character to win, the other would lose. But yet we have a romance. So how are you going to make it so that both characters still get what they need? And particularly with Lothair, which I won't explain the plot of that one just because it's like a spoiler to do that, but also whatever. But they literally have the exact opposite goals, but yet somehow they still both get what they want by the end. And every time I read it, every time I'm like, how are they going to get what they need? But
it's magic.
She makes it work. I mean, it is because they're also fated mates books. So if there's an obstacle, the answer is always going to be fated mate. And I'm okay with that because she does it so convincingly that it doesn't feel like an out because her characters also suffer. Like she makes her characters suffer. So when the answer is love at the end, you're like, yeah, they deserve it to be love because they've suffered, you know, where I don't know. Some authors I think get that as like too easy of an answer. And then it's just like, oh, okay, love is the answer. Great. But when it's like, no, love is there's a difference. There's a difference.
That makes me so excited to try one of her books finally.
Yeah. And she is the queen of a bonkers plot, like, but also all of her females are badass. Even the ones that are more, because she does have a few that are the more delicate type of a female, which is wonderful. But then hers are also Valkyries, who literally have teeth and claws, and if a man looked at them wrong, they would like rip their dick off. So, it's
love that energy.
I know, I love that energy. And so it just makes her characters going head to head. And one of the things I think that does make Lothair my favorite as well is there really actually is a very weak female, because she's human. So many of the others are not. Like, a lot of them are Valkyrie or witches or succubus or these different things. So they have like tools in their arsenal that they can use that none of the men can walk over them. But then in Lothair, like, he's the most powerful vampire that's ever lived, and she is a human. And all she has against this man is her brain. That's all that she can. Her brain and her sexual wiles. That's all that she has. And it's fascinating. It's fascinating because it's just like all the females that she could have had, and people who study this, people who talk about the series, it's true. Like, of all the females that is in her series who are all so powerful, Lothair gets a human. So crazy, because it's like, wow, how is this little hayseed from the South gonna compete with this guy? But it's great anyway.
And then my first question is always going to be like, okay, he's a mortal and she's a human. Like, how is that gonna work? That's always my first question.
Oh yeah, that's that is always a good question. How was it? Oh, you're talking about with someone else? Not sure. Oh, that's about the Black Brother Dagger. I can't say it. Black Brother. Dagger Brotherhood. See, I can't do it. Black Brother. Black Brother Dagger. Black Dagger. I can't do it. It's a tongue twister. All right. 54 pages read. Awesome. Not sucking me in like book 2 did. Yes. There are some ups and downs through that series. I think number 3 or 4 is my favorite. I think it's I can't remember the title of what. It's a second chance romance in the Horde King series is my favorite. Melissa ate dinner and you're editing. Wonderful. You picked Belladonna because it has an audio. I need to do Belladonna. I need to read those. You're at 53% of Madam. Do we think that Valkyries count for a monster prompt? Well, that's a good question. I mean, I think that could count for the blank, like for the monster prompt just in general. I mean, they have teeth and claws and they're immortal. And yeah, I think they count as a monster.
Yeah, me too.
The Valkyries count as a monster. So yeah, go for it. Have you read The Professional? Yes, I have anyway. I've read that series by her as well. I haven't read any of her historical books. I really want to read Cressy Cole has a mafia series, a trilogy. And then she also has 2 historical series, and I haven't ever tried those yet. I own them, but I haven't tried reading them yet. But yes, her mafia series is pretty good. You're 4% into. Oh yes, the fan fiction. Oh my gosh. I think I told my viewers that I found a fanfic. Oh, I put it on Instagram that it is like 1.7 million words or something. Which depends on yeah. And I really, really want to read it. And I'm like, girl, when are you gonna have time? That's like 4 times the size of Manacled.
Oh my God. I just downloaded Manacled too because of all the hype. I was like, I was seeing people read it and then crying hysterically at the end. I was like, I need to know. I need to know.
Yeah, I just talked about it. I have a video going up this week where I talked about it again because I read it. It'll be 2 years ago now. 2 years ago.
It hasn't really been out that long.
Oh yeah. It's been out for quite a while. It's been out. I think 2017 is when it was started, and then it took a couple years to write it. She was writing it for many years. So But I mean, I love when it comes back around. So I'm super
Yeah.
excited that a new wave is getting it. Cause yeah, when I read it, there was a bunch of friends who read it, and then the hype finally built up. And I can tell when people get it because everyone starts sharing all the fan art. And I'm just like, yes, just let it go. Just go. Show it all. But to be honest, like, I always will respect Manacle because it pulls everyone into it. But there's even better. There's even better. There's even more. There's just, it's endless. It's endlessly wonderful. And yeah, but Manacled, I think, is great because, and I stand by this, it's the best fantasy I've ever read. And I've read them all. And I know that that's big words, but it holds up. It holds up. It has its flaws, as any book does, and especially a book that isn't like properly edited and like done with that stuff. But the reveals, the way that it's set up, really, and honest to goodness, the only thing I fault it for is the pacing. But that's tough with fanfics because you don't know where you're ending when you start. In my opinion, for a lot of people, like, you don't know where you're ending when you start. So it's like there's some parts of that story that get a little repetitive. There are some parts where it's like, you cut this out. But when you're done with it, you're like, I didn't mind any of that. I would like more of it, please. Can I have more? Because then it's over. And then you're like, oh.
I wonder if they ever will, publish it, get it cleaned up or whatever, especially with TikTok hype stuff. Like, all these indie things are getting published.
You can't, though. Fanfic's different. They'd have to
I guess
all the names and everything.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. That's where, like, it comes around every time. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, this needs to be real. And it's like, yeah, but you'd have to strip a lot of the stuff that makes it great. Like, it's great because it is Hermione. It's Draco and Hermione, and it's the world. And to me, sorry, I don't mean to pull in the philosophy, but we're on my channel, so we can talk about
this. Yeah, I'm curious.
Why I think fanfic works so well, whether it's in HP world or supernatural, vampire, whatever people are reading, it instantly puts you in a comfort zone because this is your fandom. If you love it, you're with characters you know, even if the author of the fanfic is completely changing stuff, right? Because they're going to do what they want with it. You are instantly within a bubble of like comfort because you recognize your surroundings. And to me, it then lends it to an author who is taking something that's already built for them and seeing what they can do with it. And I think they can do so much more creative with it than what was already there, because when you're writing the original story, you're writing the story. You're not thinking about all those other layers to it. So I don't know. For me, that's why I come back to fanfic again and again, because even though it's a new fanfic author, it's a new world. Like, I'm with the characters I already love.
Yeah.
And so for the most part, it's really hard to like fuck that up because it's just them playing with it,
Yeah.
It's Draco and it's Hermione and you like the toys. And sometimes they keep their characters very like true to what you know. And sometimes they're in name only and then it goes off the rails. And so, yeah, there are some fanfics that people do it with, like there's people getting published to do that, like the author of Isolation, The Auction. She is the author of the, Forget Me Not, like that one by Julie Soto. Obviously there's the really famous ones we know that got turned into stuff like 50 Shades of Grey or like those things. Like, those are ones that it's done with. But those authors, they then have to distance themselves from it being fan fiction to a certain degree, right? Whereas a fanfic author, like, they don't need to do that. It's Dramini, and it is what it is. And I mean, I wish it could be published so the woman can make money off of it, because you can't make money off of those. But it also is this absolutely beautiful thing because everybody owns it, Yeah. And there is, and I don't mean this to get controversial, but I do get shit every now and then for saying like, why are you reading Harry Potter fan fiction? You're propping up J.K. Rowling. People will throw this at you. You'll get it too if you read it. And my answer is like, you guys realize that fan fiction is literally ripping money off from someone. I'm not sure if you understand. I'm not sure if you understand how copyright works. I am not propping up that person. I am enjoying a work from someone else who ripped her off. And I say that with love because
that's so true.
I mean, seriously, people are like, I'm so disappointed in you. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but with this one, you're just going to have to be disappointed. because you're not seeing the full scope of this. And you're going to pry fan fiction out of my cold, dead hands. You really
Oh
are.
my
Like,
God.
it's something I'm standing with. Anyway, see, that's me getting saucy because people will try to shame me. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're missing the point. You're missing the point. I'm sorry. I also have a tattoo. I'm not going to burn it off my arm. I got it as a kid. Like, what can I do? Anyway, sorry. Like I said,
It's an amazing world. It just sucks that she's not a good person. You know?
I know.
She's
There's
ruining
just,
it.
yeah. Which again is why I think fan fiction is a perfect answer. I haven't read the original Harry Potter stories in like a decade at this point. I will eventually. But now I would just read them and be like, oh man, I want these people to be together instead. And that's what fan fiction does. I think that's what happens for it. But anyway, I really hope you read it. I hope you like it.
I'm desperate to read it.
It's so good. I mean, the podfic exists too. I don't know if someone's told you that.
Wait, say that part again.
A podfic is what it's called when they turn into an audiobook. So you can listen to this on Spotify.
Yes, I did hear about that.
Okay. There are quite a few that have been done. So like Remain Nameless is a great one. Breath Mints and Battle Scars, Isolate, like a bunch of these have been done, the really big ones. Yeah, but it's fantastic and it will destroy you. Like, I'm not going to pretend otherwise. It's going to, yeah, I don't think there's been more than a day or two that it isn't in my head. Like
Roman Empire.
Oh yeah. And way before that, the thing like the lives rent free is what we said before, that, all that. Since the day I read it, it has not left my mind since then. And it was, what was it, December of 2021? Was it 2021? Yeah, because it's going to be 2 years since I read it, and it hasn't left my mind at all because it's that good. So anyway.
Wow. I'm so intrigued to my life.
I know. It's also like the darkest story I've ever lived through. So anyway, I've set it up. Everyone says it, but it brings me no end of joy to have like it hitting more channels again.
Yeah.
Because like my group of friends read it like 2 years ago, and then to see it popping up again, I'm like, yes, it lives again. It lives.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry, totally got distracted. Let's see what other people say. Has anyone read Priceless by Miranda Silver? I have not read that, Monet. I've had that one recommended to me quite a few times, but I have never read it. I don't know about that one. Honey Lay says your top is cute. So.
Thank you. It's a dress.
Ooh, I love that color, and it looks beautiful with your skin too. I love burnt orange.
Thank you very much.
Maroon, dark green, burnt orange. Fall is my favorite colors.
Yeah, I changed into this to film my October TBR. It's like, I gotta look fall.
I love it. All right. Well, after a much deserved rant about fan fiction for the best, let's dive into another sprint. Oh, let me see this quick. Didn't realize that Love in the Time of the Zombie Apocalypse. So that's my bad. Yes, I know, Candace. So I was gifted a copy of Love in the Time of Zombie Apocalypse, but I'm really happy the audiobook is there because that's another long one. But that's like The Walking Dead meets The Wizarding World. So I'm here for that one. All right, let's share the timer again here. Get into this. We'll be back soon.
See ya.
her that you shouldn't have to do PR for your adult daughter, but our conflict avoidance instincts were screaming it.
Hello again.
Yeah. Of course, my computer has to be dramatic. Middle of a reading sprint, but whatever. Oh, now someone's leaving her dead squirrels in my book, so that's great. Somebody's stalking her, so we'll have to see what happens. Ugh. Leaving people dead animals, that's just so... That's when you know someone's supposed to be evil, right? Because you hurt a defenseless animal to prove a point.
Shame. People, whatever. Animals.
Don't hurt the animals, man.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. That's a big trigger warning for me. Nobody ever puts if there's harm to animals as trigger warning. They're always like, oh, sexual assault stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's important. But also, kind of expected in a dark romance. But then in a contemporary romance, someone's like, dog dies, and we don't give a warning for it. A drunk queen, I'm like. But also, I'd read dark romance, and I love it. So I don't really there are certain trigger warnings that you just expect if you're going to read a dark romance. Because what makes it dark then? I'm like, if there's nothing traumatic in it, why is it dark, right?
Fair.
So, again, I like to be warned about it, but I'm usually prepared. But then you just reading a contemporary romance, and there was one where a horse got poisoned.
Oh.
And I'm like, I needed a warning that the horsey was going to be hurt. I'm soft-hearted that way. Give me all the blood for the people, but leave my animals alone.
Yeah, they're innocent.
That's right, man. That's right. Got halfway through A Night Huntress novella by Janine Frost. That's cool. I'm glad you're getting to spend time with characters you love. That's what I love about Immortals After Dark, too. They're all so great. Also great. Got through 4 more chapters. Nice. 72% done. Nice. Don't remember where you were, but you have 4.5 hours left. Might try to stay up and finish it. Nice. Yeah, mine's going through really good. I love Claire Kingsley's Small Town, so all the eccentric people in it. And yeah, I just love it. That stuff is cozy. All the good small town romance stuff. What are your favorite romances? I don't know too much about what you read.
Favorite romances? I'm kind of basic sometimes. I really love the Elsie Silver series that everybody's obsessed with Heartless.
That's right.
I feel like I don't physically own a lot of my favorite romances because a lot of them I just read on KU.
Yeah.
So top of mind, I'm like, oh my God, what do I like?
I know. Remember. Such a put you on point thing, but
I mean, a lot of my all-time favorite books aren't romances just because I think it's so new and different for me that I haven't seen it before. But if I read that genre a lot, maybe it wouldn't be I don't know, as special.
Right. But. I mean, it's funny though, but I mean, I've been reading romance for half my life, and most of my favorites aren't romance either. But then I have my favorite romances of all time.
Yeah.
As well. But on my top book list of all time, only about half of them are romance because I loved YA fantasy as a kid. And so those books that you read as a kid, they just stick with you more. I'm all for the new Aragon book coming out because Aragon is the series that cemented my love of fantasy as a kid. So I'm just I'm rereading the original ones right now, and it's my best life.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Stephenie Meyer's other book, not Twilight, but The Host.
Yes,
love that. I read that as a teenager, and I read it again as an adult. I'm like, it's not perfect, but I'm still obsessed with it.
So good. Oh my gosh, yeah. There was a dystopian novel I read recently that was not good, but it had stuff from The Host that fit so well that I was like, this person's read The Host. There was literally a character named Ian. There was literally the people who are living underground to stay away from the zombies. There was someone who attacks her at the water hole when she's taking a bath. You've read you know what I'm talking about. Literally scenes from it. I'm
that's a fanfic I need to find one.
Girl, we gotta look for it, you know. I haven't looked up too many outside of HP yet because I just live my best life in it. But I have read a Star Wars one, and I've read a Yellowstone one, and I've read a ACOTAR one, because when I had because I've hosted fan fiction readathons. I started a fan fiction readathon last year, so I forced myself to read outside of it. But I really want to look up more of my like other favorite things as well. Like I love the Vampire Diaries. I love like, but they literally have it for everything. So I bet there is host stuff, because like she just like gave up on that world too. There was always supposed to be like more books and like, well, if just anything, you know, which is fine. I mean, the woman's gonna be wealthy till she's dead, and I don't care.
Milk in it. The
Well,
Twilight thing.
You wrote it, you own it, girl. You can be rich till you dead, and nothing that anyone makes will like hold like
a candle to it.
Right. So I understand. But I also am like, I had so much hopes for the other stuff you were going to do.
Yeah. Like it was actually like really good.
Yeah. I liked The Chemist a lot too.
I read that also.
I liked that. It was very Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
To that about that one. Again, that one's kind of wacky, but I love that one. Yeah. I wanted the like twin brother, the military guy, to get his own story too.
Yeah, I wish he would write more for those. I think I was like looking it up because I was like, is there more? And I think she had an interview where she said for the host that like the world is too dangerous and she didn't want to like risk the lives of her characters. Like they would have to die. And I'm like, yeah, but like, I just want them to like, I just wanted them to have that mature moment where they could be together. You know, obviously I'm an adult romance reader. I just wanted it to be more adult, you know.
Okay. I mean, again, fair. Authors don't owe us books, but that is such a like weird thing to say. Like, it's your world, make it a bit safer.
Yeah.
I mean, I do understand it. She built a world that it's like, how do you ever fight against this? But I loved the idea that it was like, but what's going to fight against it is that you're falling in love with people. Like, that's what the tip is. And I'm like, oh,
we have to find the perfect fanfic.
Yeah, we'll look for it. There's got to be some stuff where it's like the aliens taking over start like falling for the people, and not just in romantic way. Like the because there was like they were falling for like the babies and stuff. Like they're because they're such a kind species, you know.
You have a great memory. You read so many books. I'm like, the detail you remember this.
Oh, thank you.
So good.
The ones that I love like that, I do. I can't tell a whole thing, and I rarely remember the names of all people, but I remember those moments that like stick in me, and like the moments of that book was great. Also, I read it so many times. Like I used to reread like constantly as a young person, you know, like I reread those Twilight books. Like
you were doing cover to cover rereads.
Oh yeah, I would reread those constantly. And then I read The Host so many times. I read the first two Aragon books. I read over and over again, so much so that even a decade later, when I was just rereading those, the first book I barely had to like read at all, because I was like, oh, I remember everything in every chapter, like just the chapter title, and I could tell you what happened in it. That's how many times I read that book specifically while we were waiting for the next book. I read those books so many times. And now I feel like that is the thing about romance now, is that there's less that like really sticks with me. It doesn't mean I don't enjoy them. I still obviously love it, but the book really has to be special for me to remember it. And that's where you get those books me that are what I call my 6-star books, because I'm like, you're gonna stick around. This book, you're gonna stick around up here. Where other ones I'm just like, oh, that was a great time while I was reading it, but on to the next thing, you know. So all right, let's see what a couple other people are saying here. Any autumn historical recs? Think of reading The Autumn Bride by Anne Gracie, and you've already read the, oh my word, who is that? You are spam. Sorry. I have my like speaker on and it started flashing, and it's because I was getting a phone call and it was a spam. I'm like, what the hell is that? Anyway, that's a good question, Honeylake. So I'm going to be honest, for me, historicals in general are like an autumn vibe. So I'm kind of bad with saying like this gives me an autumn vibe unless it's one of the books that has autumn in the title. So I'm sorry that that's not a great answer for you. But yeah, I don't really have specific like these historicals make me feel autumn, because historicals are a cozy vibe for me as it is. I apologize.
I would agree with that.
You know, I would suggest I would suggest continuing some of your favorite historical series. That sounds really lame of me to say, but yeah, that's tough on the spot, especially because I don't know what other ones you've read, honey. But I have a whole playlist of like 70 different historical romance rec videos, so maybe that'll help. King Cobra, it's getting exciting. Oh, yes, King Cobra, he's crazy. Jen, Ellie might have something to say about that title. Oh, shoot. Are we talking about, now I know which book I was talking about then, Belle, so you'll have to remind me. I love The Host. Yes, it's so good. It was so good. I should reread that. I have the pretty original copy of that one. I have them. Those are all over there. I have all my Stephanie Meyer books there. I mean, I've been loved finally reading Midnight Sun. People gave that so much crap, and I was like, I lived for wanting this book as a child, and so I'm going to enjoy every moment of this story.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I actually cried reading it.
Oh, no. Well,
I cry all the time.
it was good. I ate that up too as a teenager. I ate it all up.
I cried because of his like parental interactions and like his siblings and stuff. I loved the Cullens. Like I should have read more like fan fiction. Like Alice was straight up my bestie as a kid. Like I have an imaginary friend Alice. And this is bad. Like I read these when I was 14 and 15. So it's not like I was like a child. But I would just be like, Alice would be my bestie for sure. Bex, you are up past your bedtime trying to finish the September house. Woohoo! You go. Oh, you're talking about when I name myself. I know. I mean, I'm not going to come at Ellie. For sure. But thank you for finally noticing that someone said something about it. I just all liked. Actually,
I didn't even really comprehend that either. That's too funny.
I know. It's one of those like deep cuts. I love it. We're watching The Vampire Diaries 2 this fall. Yes. I love it. Did Stephanie Meyer stop writing? I mean, it appears so, Lizelle. There's been nothing announced at all. I mean, although, like, what will it be? Is it the 25th? We're going to have, the 20th is coming up. I think the 20th anniversary is coming up, so we'll see what happens for that one. But
20th anniversary of Twilight?
Yeah, 2005 is when it came out, I think. So it's coming soon.
My God, it makes me feel ancient.
Right, because it was for the 15th anniversary that we got Midnight Sun.
Oh my God, what?
Was it? Yeah. So it's coming soon. I think it was written in 2003 and it was like finally published in 2005. I could be wrong, but
yeah, 2005, October 5th.
I thought so. Yeah, so it's coming up. But I wish she'd written other stuff, but I think she doesn't need to. And I know there was some like producing stuff that she did for a while. I used to follow it when I was more obsessed with it, but yeah, I just think it did a lot of great things. I come back around to that. How many authors are writing now because of what she did? Like one of my favorite authors now, she literally says she wrote a book because Stephanie Meyer did it, and that's JT Geisinger. She says it. She's like, I found out that she was just a mom at home who decided to write a book, and she was in her like, what was she, like late 30s, and she was like, I can do it too. And so she did it too. And I'm like, wow. And how many other people have done that too, or wrote fan fiction of it and then became authors, like Christina Lauren. They did that, you know. So many others. So good for her. I love that.
I just can't believe how old that book is.
I know you're still stuck on that.
I am. Breaking Dawn came out in 2008. I was like, how old was I? I was like, yeah, I guess it was in middle school, but like, Jesus.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Any plans to read The Fated Mates of the Sea, Sand Warlords? I have never heard of that before. Yeah, I've never heard of that before. Let me look that up.
Yeah, let's look it up.
Why? That one's weird.
Let's
Okay.
see. Alien Tyrant is the first one that looks like, maybe.
Native Maids of the Sea. Oh. Oh, many books in that series. I have never heard of it before, but I will add it to my maybe list. Interesting. No need to apologize. Historicals are cozy for you'll rewatch my video. Well, thank you for that. I am trying to read some more historicals too. I look at my shelf of all my beautiful historicals and I want to read them. And then I get overwhelmed by all the other stuff I have to get to. And then I'm like, someday. But anyway, well, we will go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you continue to love our spooky reads. Daphne, are you hosting one this week?
Yes, I am hosting reading sprints tomorrow night at 8 p.m. EST. I just scheduled it in our last sprint, so you should see it on my channel if you guys want to hang out and read some more tomorrow.
All right, so continue to love your spooky reads, and we'll see you guys at the next reading sprint or on Instagram or whatever you got going on. Have a great night.
Bye.